Hello, welcome to the video on how to build a repertoire. This video addresses two different groups who might be interested in this subject. Firstly, players who play cello as a hobby, but wish finally to know if it's really necessary to play a piece every day in order to be able to play it well and to keep it. Here a preliminary answer. You don't need to. Take a break, trust your memory, and I will come to a system that helps trusting. After a break, learning is fresher. You discover new points, you will learn better, it will get even better. It just needs a good system for the breaks. The second group are professionals, and I belong to this problem group. In my tertiary studies, I learned how to work on a new piece and get it up to a performance level. But then I remember too well this repeated request. Georg, can you play something? And I say, what I performed last semester, I haven't played since then. My new pieces are not ready yet. I'm so sorry, I don't have anything ready. And I was on a very high level. Then some amateur gets up who can play only 3 pieces. Plays the 3 pieces and everyone claps. Then they turn to me, you Georg, your turn. I've heard you, just play something, please. I felt awful. I actually love performing, but I hate playing ill-prepared and showing off mistakes. Somehow, in all my studies, this part of musicianship or performanceship had been missed. No advice or idea even mentioned. I was all geared up, I suppose, for orchestra playing. I've noticed before that after performances I had new ideas. But nevertheless, these ideas became forgotten, because the pieces were not revisited or only after a break too long to remember these little details. Coming to the point, my first goal after studying was to build up a permanent repertoire at least 2 concerts long, 120 minutes, and I gave myself 2 years, with the added goal to play all by memory. I didn't used to have a good memory. And I might mention for my audition to the School of Music, I wished to play my favorite piece at the time, Bach Prelude D minor, by memory. Tried it for 1.5 years and didn't get it. Because of the way I ended up learning with the new system, I have today about 12 hours of pieces by memory. Me, the person with a bad memory. And I had my goal of 120 minutes ready fulfilled after just 1 year. I tried different methods, and here's the one which worked. First, I made a list of the pieces which I wanted to keep in the repertoire. These pieces are listed underneath each other. The name not longer than 2 words, so there will be plenty of space on the right side on the paper. So pieces which you want to play or have started but can't play them yet through well, they don't go on this list. It's not a practice list, it's a repertoire list. They have to flow through. I recommend to write the list on thick paper, because that sheet might be used for several years. So all pieces get listed which you want to keep. Then for now, as a first list as such, numbers from 1 to 12 for each month, or the monthly letters, if you prefer, the initials, get written on the top. I show here one of my lists. I have today 8 pages, but in difference to my early list, it is per term of the year. But don't worry, you start with months. As mentioned before, if you have gone through the list for a couple of years, every term is enough. But surely, start with monthly. Now, after the list of pieces and the heading of the month, I come to the coding which worked best. You see here the circles with a cross in the middle. The circles mean by memory, otherwise the circle is missing. The vertical line means played through well, but not perfect. The horizontal line means making a cross, and that means no mistake, perfect. Well, I recommend strongly not to use a pen, but a pencil. Because when you can read it perfectly, and then start learning it by memory, and add the memory circle, often it's not perfect anymore, and the old cross needs to be rubbed out. The circle might be in fact first empty. It's now by memory, but doesn't flow. Then it starts flowing, but not perfect. And as a final result, circles with a cross. I remember months waiting for the circle or the horizontal line. For months. And now, once a piece has a circle plus a cross, it can vanish from the have-to-do list until next month, and later for a whole term. But I found also one needs to get a feeling for that for this month, the horizontal line, the perfection one, will not come. So stop practicing this piece for now and go for it again next month. I found the best thing to play it for not more than 1 week to achieve the cross or the circle, and otherwise go to the next piece. Just give it a break. The time in between is actually good, and not only a delay, it has very positive side effects. And the first things to forget is a real surprise. If you play it again a month later, or a term later, I in fact forgot first what was difficult. It just vanished when I played it through. I forgot tensions and I forgot hesitations. Body movements in bow and left arm and finger preparation became somehow easier. There was a benefit in the break. If you play it every day, everything gets stagnant. It remains like it is, and the insecurity that it would not come remains until you stop it. So if you give it a break, these insecurities disappear, and it has the benefit that afterwards it becomes easier. And it's not a conscious thing. You can't even remember what was difficult. As a detail, I recommend to list in a suite or a concert or sonata each movement separate, unless they are very short. Not to list a work of more than 10 minutes as one unit. Otherwise, time gets wasted by playing the already good movements, and they can get staler actually, not better. There is though one thing to be careful when playing by memory. Little mistakes can creep in if you haven't played a piece for a while and play it only by memory. A correct note might get replaced by another well-sounding note, which sounds good, but it's not written there. So if not 100% sure, check. Even if the music is not on the stand, it's worth to walk to the shelf. And now to the long term. I found once a piece has been perfect for a year, like 12 times, it can be put on a 2 or 3 monthly list. I tried half yearly, but for me it was too long. I needed to get the music out for most pieces. With sonatas, which we don't play by memory because of too many rests and repetitive notes, hard to keep in mind, I found after half a year, 6 times perfect, that's enough. And from then on, every half year or even once a year is enough. And after a few years of keeping a piece being in the list, it takes only just a few run-throughs to brush them up. In fact, some I have put aside, and I haven't played them for 8 years or something. I had to play them in a concert, and we played them 3 times through, and it was perfect, because they've been practiced systematically before. I hope you enjoyed the video and will be able to multiply your repertoire and enjoy the difference. I will do soon a separate video on how to learn to play by memory. And goodbye for now.